6:47, our top stories in your Sunrise Smart Start this Wednesday. The breaking updates from the crime scene in Northwest Rochester. One man killed, another in the hospital right now after a deadly double shooting early this morning in a property off Lyle Avenue. That happened near Cameron Street. As you're looking live down that scene, we just heard from major crimes detectives. Police say the victims, again, both in their 40s. One man found dead at the scene, which we're told is a property with multiple apartments inside. No arrests or suspects yet that have been announced. Police say they are interviewing many people who were there when this happened. They say there was a fight just before the gunfire that again killed one man, critically injured another. We'll keep you updated on that double shooting investigation here, News 8, throughout the morning and on our website, rochesterfirst.com. Also breaking overnight, another man is recovering in the hospital after another shooting in the city. That one happened on Lake Avenue just before 10:30 p.m. The victim, a 24-year-old, is expected to survive. Police say they're also investigating what led up to that shooting. Breaking updates in that search in the Atlantic. Underwater noises have been picked up as crews are looking for that sub that disappeared while carrying 5 people to the wreckage of the Titanic. In a tweet posted just after midnight, the Coast Guard reports the noises were detected by a Canadian aircraft, and because of that, the underwater mission, that search, has been moved to try to pinpoint the origins of the sound. Governor Kathy Hochul is ordering the New York Air National Guard to help with this search. The sub did lose communication about an hour and a half into its dive Sunday to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. Time is running out as the oxygen supply on the sub is expected to disappear by tomorrow morning. One teen detained, 2 others released on expedited appearance tickets after police say they stole a car Monday night in Brighton. Officers say the suspects were found at a senior living complex on Linden Avenue trying to take another car. All 3 suspects, just 15. One went to the county's juvenile detention center, the other 2 released. Sergeant Keith Woodward says expedited appearance tickets aren't necessarily a new tactic, but they are being used more frequently to streamline the process leading up to a court date. At the meeting for Rochester City Council last night, members voted 5-4, approving a nearly $675 million spending plan for Rochester for the new year. Council members Mary Lupien, Kim Smith, Jose Pio, and Stanley Martin were the no votes. They cited what they call a lack of trust, transparency, and communication throughout the budget process. And once again, Martin, that council member, disagreed with the amount of taxpayer funding spent on RPD.
I cannot in good conscience support a city budget that approves the largest Rochester Police Department budget in the history of our city. $109 million is untenable. We just gave an $18 million increase, and to be able to continue funding police at this level, it means we're taking money out of different initiatives that also keep our community safe.
In what's really a formality, City Council voted 4-3 against the Rochester City School District spending plan. Last night's symbolic vote does not affect the district's budget. However, members criticized the more than $1 billion spending plan for several reasons. Among those, a lack of emphasis on what they say is improving student reading. And they also question why the budget is increasing, although student enrollment is declining. They did, however, applaud the work of the newly appointed superintendent, Carmine Peluso. Last year, no one on council supported the budget for RCSD, the plan that is wrapping up this year. Later on today, the U.S. Attorney for Western New York will be talking about plans to reduce gun crime in Rochester. That's this afternoon. Trini Ross will be joined by law enforcement and elected officials for that. Meantime, Governor Hochul has announced a $6 million investment for police agencies in Monroe County. It's part of a $36.2 million statewide program known as GIVE, that is Gun Involved Elimination Initiative. She says this program, which has been around for a decade, has been successful in reducing gun violence. The police departments for Greece and Rochester and county agencies will share the $6 million grant for the new fiscal year. After News 8 interviewed a man who lost his mother in a crash on Empire Boulevard a few years ago, Monroe County lawmaker Paul Dondorfer released a statement calling on the DOT to run another traffic safety study on that busy stretch of road by the Bay and Penfield. The sheriff's office says there have been at least 800 reported crashes there in the last 5 years. Dondorfer is asking specifically for a traffic light at the bottom of the hill where it's so busy. He adds many people have reached out to him regarding the high amount of crashes in that area.
That number is atrocious, and it's something that I think the state should have been looking at a long time before now. Yeah. You know, we always say that when somebody loses their life, it's too late already, but the fact that there's been multiple fatalities there, I think it's time for the state to really kind of reevaluate and get a traffic control device there.
He's also hoping more elected officials in Penfield get behind the idea of a light on Empire Boulevard. The DOT says it did do a study recently, and in another statement saying it wants to have another look at the corridor. Sunrise traffic here at 6:53 as we check the main expressways. Everything okay in terms of any accidents reported this morning? Haven't seen any or heard of any. We'll keep you updated on that at 7:25 during CBS Mornings. A new restaurant is opening up today in Fairport. That's Rustic Taco. The business is making the move to Fairport from Ontario in Wayne County. The restaurant puts its own spin on things like cooking tacos with wine, beer, and more spirits. Started out as just a food truck, then expanded to a takeout business with tables outside. This new space is on South Main Street in the Village. They can serve about 100 people there at a time, and the owners say they are ecstatic about this opportunity.
The second I saw it, I wanted it. It's right on Main Street. There's plenty of seating. There's a bar. There's a patio, good-sized kitchen, everything I was looking for.
Rustic Taco opens this morning at 11. Go check it out. They'll be open Tuesday through Sunday. The question of will Zemgus Girgensons come back to the Sabres has been answered. The Latvian locomotive re-signed for a one-year deal worth $2.5 million. The 29-year-old former All-Star from the NHL has spent his whole pro career with Buffalo. He scored 10 goals and had 18 points for the Sabres last year. The general manager, Kevin Adams, isn't done making moves. He's also bringing back Zemgus Girgensons on a 2-year agreement worth $775,000 a season. The 24-year-old forward made his debut in the majors this past year. 2 games with the Sabres. He scored his first NHL goal. He also led all Amherst with 40 assists and 56 points. Adams will have his annual pre-draft press conference later today. The city of Rochester's animal shelter is currently maxed out. It is full, meaning several cats and dogs have no place to go, no place to stay. Staff need you to help by lending a hand by fostering some of the pets until they're able to find these animals a permanent home. David Langley at the shelter says every foster placement can be just a week, maybe several months. He says it's a big responsibility, but fostering can lead to a brighter future for those animals. Speaking of furry friends, a big night for the Red Wings as dogs had quite the time for Bark in the Park. The team took on the Omaha Storm Chasers for the first time this year. Dogs got in for free. Their human owners still had to pay, though. Just an awesome night for everyone, including the Wings, who picked up a win 5-4 with the dogs cheering them on. Got to have that water. Yeah. Got to have some snacks. Some fries there. Yummy. Watching the game. Love that. Right. All right, here we are. Bus stop forecast. This is just about it for the year.
Retiring the graphic. Yeah. Lots of fun goodbyes. See you next year's at the bus stop. Not only getting on, but getting off as well for the pickup and drop off. Just a perfect forecast here. Numbers in the 60s, warm day, upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Yes, school's out on this Wednesday. 8-day forecast here just so happens to line up with the solstice. Tomorrow, we're going to put isolated showers in the forecast there. Numbers falling a bit in the mid-70s. And then here we go. Looks a lot like summer, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Brennan, with those scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast through the weekend and then into next week.
And then we are getting closer and closer to July already. Yep.